Sí, somos la esperanza.
Somos trabajadores.
Hundreds of Central American migrants, most from Honduras, are now preparing for a short 5-minute walk set for tomorrow across the U.S. Mexico border after a roughly month-long journey. The migrants who plan to seek asylum in the U.S. are part of a caravan. Now, it's an annual trek, but it's gotten more attention this year than usual because of criticism from Donald Trump, with posts like this one on Twitter. This happening last week, saying, "I've instructed the Secretary of Homeland Security not to let these large caravans of people into our country. It's a disgrace. We're the only country in the world so naive." Wall. Now, the possible friction at the U.S. Mexico border tomorrow could hit home here in Canada. Amid negotiations for the North American Free Trade Agreement, Trump has threatened to upend NAFTA over the caravan. Migrants have been arriving in Tijuana in recent days, some getting legal advice before tomorrow's planned walk across the nearby border into the U.S. Many here say they're fleeing their homes in Guatemala, El Salvador, and Honduras because of death threats from gangs, the murder of family members, or political persecution. Weeks ago, more than 1,000 people were traveling together as part of the caravan. Most have since chosen to seek asylum in Mexico. About 300 migrants now remain with the caravan. And the Secretary of Homeland Security says her agency is watching that group closely and is sending additional officers, attorneys, and judges to the border. And in a statement, the Secretary saying in part, "If you enter the United States illegally, let me be clear, you have broken the law, and we will enforce the law through prosecution of illegal border crossers." Earlier this month, Trump called on the military to guard the U.S. Mexico border until his campaign promise of a border wall is complete. To Gaza, a funeral was held today for a 15-year-old Palestinian boy. Hundreds joining together for prayers after Palestinian officials said the boy was shot by Israeli troops during protests yesterday. More than 40 Palestinians have been killed since demonstrations calling for the right of return for refugees to what is now Israel began on March 30th. And protests are expected to peak here on May 15th, the day after the 70th anniversary of Israel's Declaration of Independence, a day marked by Palestinians as a day of catastrophe.